As we approach midterm elections in November, we'll be keeping an eye on millennials and how their votes will impact the polls. CBS News teamed up with digital media company Refinery 29 and polled women across the country, focusing on those between ages 18 and 35. 34% identified as Democrats, 27% as independents, and 19% as Republicans. The remaining 20% aren't sure of how they identify politically. We found that 7 in 10 are dissatisfied or angry about the Trump presidency and the direction the country is headed. And only 30% say they will definitely vote in November. Joining me now is CBS News Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto. Anthony, always great to see you. Let's dive into these numbers here. It's interesting. You've got 7 in 10 women saying that they're dissatisfied with the presidency, and this is that specific 18 to 35 age group. What kind of impact do you think that could have on what we'll be seeing in the midterms in November?
Well, look, the majority of these folks, when they choose a party, are breaking towards the Democrats. But as you pointed out, a large number are also independents, and a large number aren't even sure what party they would associate with, and that speaks to the fact that a lot of them still are distanced from politics. In fact, the largest number of any age group that says they're not definitely going to vote is this one. So you got these folks here at age 18 to 39 are the least likely to say that they're definitely going to vote in the midterms. So to your question of what impact is this going to have, it really seems uncertain, because you compare this to, say, older women over 65 who are twice as likely to say they're definitely going to vote, and it really becomes a key thing to watch. We know that they're dissatisfied with the country, and we know that on balance, those who pick would prefer the Democrats, but it's not clear that they're going to show up.
Well, at the same time, we're seeing a wave of women run for office, and but reactions to that seem to be mixed right now. So I wonder, is there some kind of partisan split over whether or not people think that's a good idea? Because the thinking going into this year was a lot of women were going to step up because they said, well, if Donald Trump can do it and run for office and win, then I can go ahead and throw my hat in the ring and try and run for office as well.
That's right. And we do see large numbers of women running. We see unprecedented numbers of new people running for office who haven't held office before. All that said, so we asked people, do you think that would be a good thing if more women are elected to office? And we see the partisan splits on views on that. The Democrats among these women said that it would be on balance a good thing. Republicans less likely to say that it would be a good thing. They're more likely to say that it wouldn't make a difference. And so you start to see in the party splits, more women running, a lot of Democratic women running. Now, that doesn't mean that these folks say that they would vote for a woman over a man, all else equal. They say they would still pick on the candidate and on the policies. But many of them, in particular many Democrats, say they would like to see more women in office. And the reason that they give is they think it would help with diversity.
Well, the poll also found that only 26% of younger women say a candidate being a member of their political party is a high priority. Does that indicate that traditional political values here are shifting with the generation?
Well, I mentioned earlier how many of these women are independents and don't identify with either party. That's the first place to start. One of the things that jumps out is that they feel that they have to have their culture and their values represented in picking a candidate. To your question, that does, I think, represent some of the larger political narrative that they're starting to absorb as they come into the process, because there is so much division now, because there's so much division along cultural lines. I'm not surprised to see that. But then when we do get to the folks who do choose a party at this point, we do see the same hard partisan splits that we see among other age groups, where once you're part of a party, that's the way you're voting.
Well, what about issues? What are the issues that matter most to this particular group of voters?
The thing that really stands out first is health care. Now, that's true of all age groups, but it really, compared to others, stands out here. I think one reason for that is that it's a pocketbook issue. So you can more easily see perhaps how government policy is affecting you there. It's not until folks get older that we see more concern about the larger direction of the nation and the general trend of things. At this point in life, they're really thinking about what dollars and cents matter for them.